Hello from Gardening at Duenza, and at the moment I'm in Spain near a town called Blanes, and today I've come to see the most amazing garden. Now, I've been to 3 gardens this trip, but this one really takes the biscuit. It is fantastic and I highly recommend it. It's called Marimurtra, and it's fantastic. So many different plants that it's a real plant lover's paradise, and that's what I like in a garden. I mean, it's nice to have ones that are architectural with great landscaping, but I love to see the individual plants, and this one really delivers.
So come with me now on this nice leisurely walk around a fantastic Spanish garden, and we're going to dive right in there and have a look at some of these plants up personal. That's Scilla peruviana, a fantastic bulb that you saw me feature in my greenhouse a little while ago. And what's that little cutie there under the tree? Not quite sure. Here we have some clivia basking in the glorious Spanish sunshine, and aren't they a glorious orange? A great house plant. This is an aloe in flower, and some more pretty little things. Now, if I'm not much mistaken, this is the kind of succulent that opens in full sun. So if you bring it to a climate like Ireland's, you'll be disappointed all summer because the flowers will stay quite firmly closed. Anyway, it does fabulously here. This plant here is rough horsetail, and you're going to see the botanic name written there in a second. Now, it's a plant that likes a lot of moisture, and as you can see, it's contained in this concrete container, and that's because it's really an aggressive plant, your worst nightmare. That's Erythrina, we just looked at with the red flowers, and now we've moved up to the part of the garden that I love the most. It was a kind of pergola area, and with the dappled light and stuff in pots and the views down over the garden, I just thought it was absolutely magnificent. There's that magnificent view again. Now we're relishing in Monstera deliciosa, the cheese plant that many of us have in our houses, but they are growing it out here in the pergola, and it gets really quite big, doing so well there. And look at this. This was the most romantic looking scene I'd ever seen, and it's only a rusty old bathtub, but it just looked fantastic there with all the greenery around it and that tap. Here was a pond area, and we are just going to step over that stepping stone without falling in. Carefully does it. And here was a variegated canna with yellow variegation rather than white, and very attractive it was too. Look how the light from outside streams into the pergola, and now we're looking out over a cactus area, a very dry area, but from the shelter of the pergola it just felt so wonderful. Kalanchoe Baharensis, if I'm not very much mistaken, and some more views of those succulents and cactuses. And now I'm going to walk down the steps. Sorry about my shadow there, but you know, we've got to keep these things real. And look at this tropical or subtropical planting, really quite beautiful. This here is a speckled farfugium, and I just love it to bits. It's not sick. Some people said it was sick, but that's just the patterning on the leaves. And over here, of course, we have Geranium madurensis. Look at the red trunk on that. fantastic plant, and one I recently bought when I was in Blarney Castle. If you check out my video called Exciting New Plants, you'll see the geranium among other things. Now this gnarled tree trunk, it was a dead tree trunk essentially, but it had been beautifully patterned with painting and it looked super. This is an Echium fastuosum, if I'm not very much mistaken. It comes from the island of Madeira off the coast of Africa, and this flower here belongs to Melianthus major. You can see the leaves there in the background, very distinctive plant. Now this definitely in the Solanum family, but I can't tell you which one. And isn't this just fantastic? So architectural. Almost like a pine cone there in the centre. Now this bush I found really interesting, and it's a kind of teucrium, which I bought recently and have in my greenhouse, but here they clip it into a bush and it looked really very neat. Just a pan there out across the garden. And look at this really unusual looking plant. It quite took me back, but it's a Coreopsis gigantea. And here we have some of the Californian poppy planted so near to the sea. Look at that sea. You're going to see more of that in a minute. Some flora from Chile. They look like quills, but sure, and an enormous allocation in a pot. Some clivias in pots there underneath the shade of the tree. Plenty of pretty colour in this beautiful garden. And this was in the South African section, and this protea type flower has flowered, but we missed it. There we go, fine boss, South African plants, and the sign there. Okay, let's go over past this Echium fastuosum yet again, the Madeiran one we mentioned earlier, and what a fine specimen bush that is. And a glance out there over the sea, and now we're descending to an area with an outcrop out there over the ocean, and this beautiful, I guess, pavilion was sited there where you can go and look at the fantastic glistening water. Gorgeous, huh? And that brings me to the end of this visit to Marimurtra Botanic Garden in Blanes in Spain. I hope you liked it. If so, do give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed to me already, please subscribe and check back for lots more gardening and plant fun. Bye!